At ikaw rin naman ay sinasabi mo, ito rin ang kauna-unahan yung pagkakataon na nakita nyo si Miss Annabel Chongson dito sa loob ng impeachment court. Ngunit sa aking pananaw, ay iba po ang aking pananaw sapagkat political ally po ang pamilya ni Annabel Benaflor Chongson at yung pamilya ni Congressman Tupas. Ang gusto ko lang pong patunayan dito ay pagkakaroon ng malapit na relasyon ng pamilya ni Annabel Benaflor Chongson at yung pamilya ni Congressman Tupas. At sa aking pananaw, sana po ay respetuhin niyo po ang aking sinabi na hindi po ako naniniwala na hindi po kayo magkakilala. Sana po respetuhin niyo ang aking opinion. Gayon din, na nirespeto ko po ang inyong sinabi rito na hindi niyo kilala si Miss Annabel Benaflor Chongson. Hayaan niyo na po. I do not want to argue with you. Let the people judge kung talagang magkakilala kayong dalawa. Who knows? It might be the bank manager who leaked out the documents to you. Hindi natin po alam. I am not in the position to answer that. Let the people judge. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, please.
Now, the gentleman, the chief of the power.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hindi ko po, gusto ko lang po ilagay sa record na hindi ko question yung motibo ng ating kagalang-galang na senador sa San Juan. In fact, talagang malaki rin po ang respeto natin sa kanya. Malaki ang respeto niya, respeto natin sa kanya pag pumupunta nga ng Iloilo ang ating senador na nagkakataon na magkasama rin kami, no, kasama na aking kapatid. Pero tumayo lang ho ako dito kanina kasi nabanggit lang yung pangalan, hindi lang yung aking ama, yung kapatid ko, pati ng asawa ko. At ang gusto ko lang po ay ilagay lang sa record na wala kaming relasyon, walang acquaintance nung witness na si Miss Annabel Chongson. Sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon na nakita ko siya nung Lunes nung nag-testify siya. So yun lang po. Gusto ko lagay sa record na rinirespeto ko rin yung opinion, personal opinion or paniniwala ng ating kagalang-galang na senador. I just want to put it in record dahil po this is babasahin po ang record dito ng ating mga estudyante at babasahin po, hindi lang po ngayon kundi susunod na henerasyon, and I just want to protect the names or the name of my family. So salamat po.
Thank you.
Mr. President, one final point on the bank president from Senator Cayetano.
Mr. President, magandang hapon po. Mr. Garcia, magandang hapon.
Good afternoon.
Now, we sympathize and empathize with you. No? The banking industry is in the center of our economy. Hindi naman kayo ang on trial dito, yung Chief Justice. But siguro naintindihan nyo naman kung gaano ka-importante yung impormasyon na to. And we know there's conflict between theory, there's conflict between the law, and in reality. No? Ibig sabihin po, kahit required kayo by law na ibigay halimbawa yung peso accounts, you have to be very careful kung ano ang sensitivities ng inyong depositors. We understand that. No? Pwede kami magsalita dito na hindi alis yan or whatever, but you know that better than us. No? I just like to ask you, ano ba ang pagkaintindi nyo sa 1405? No? Dun sa exception na pagka-impeachment court, do you think that you need in your belief or your opinion of the law, kailangan nyo pa ng subpoena or ng order bago nyo ilabas tungkol sa peso accounts?
Yes, Your Honor. That is our understanding.
Okay. Because I'd like to bring to your attention, in the journal of January 2000 and December 22, 2000, Clarissa Ocampo came here to the Senate and gave testimony, and she did not have a subpoena. And I'll not go, I only have a limited time. No? When they were asked, sabi niya, tinanong niya sa external counsel nila. At since sinabi ng external counsel na pwede dahil impeachment case, ibinigay nilang to. I'm saying that because this all started with the little lady and the big congressman. Congressman Umali, o the tall congressman. No? Kasi kung pwede naman ibigay sa kanya, dahil impeachment case naman to, at wala namang bawal doon, wala nang allegations of a fairy tale or kung totoo to, hindi. Pero, alam natin na kahit ganun yung batas, masama sa bangko yon, di ba? Because any bank na may allegations na will freely give the information, medyo aalma yung mga depositors, even if it is allowed by law. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Meaning, you're in a position that you want to follow the law, you want to be very cooperative here, but you also have to be very careful of the sensitivities of your depositors.
Yes, Your Honor, but if I may just add, it's not just the sensitivities of our depositors. If we disclose anything, even on a peso account, that is not covered by an order of this court, we will actually be violating Republic Act 1405, which specifies that we are not supposed to disclose anything except to an impeachment court, and that is through an order. And that's why we have to be extremely careful. And besides, even on the subpoena, Your Honor, there were 10 certain accounts specified there, and so we respond on the basis of what we are being ordered to respond. So if we will respond or give information or details or anything that is not within the specific instructions of the court, we will be opening up ourselves and we will be violating the law on
Yes.
confidentiality.
No, I'm trying to help you explain to your depositors because
Yes, Your Honor.
your understanding of the law is an interpretation already. You said you need an order of the impeachment court. That's not what the law says. The law says, except upon written permission of the depositor or in cases of impeachment. It doesn't say that you need an order of the impeachment court. That's why in the case of Clarissa Ocampo, she came here walang order. And tinanong siya, bakit mo binibigay yung impormasyon? Ang sagot niya, tinanong ko sa external counsel namin eh. Sabi ng counsel nila, pwede. My only interpretation of that is because they interpreted in case of impeachment to be anything that has to do with the impeachment proceeding. Meaning, if one of your bank officials go to the prosecution and says, eto yung bank accounts niya, they will not be liable under the law under that precedent, no? Under what? I will not argue that point now because that's not. I was just simply trying to ask you your opinion, and I'll ask the defense, the prosecution counsel, the same thing. But I was just trying to help you also, because you know we are being monitored here, we are being watched ng ating mga kababayan. All banks are also probably watching your situation, and I'd like to show you that although we ask you tough questions, no, we are not insensitive to the situation of your bank and the banking industry, sir.
I thank you for that, Your Honor. And if I may just add, in the case of Clarissa Ocampo, precisely when she did disclose without a court order or no direction from the court, or for that matter, a consent from the depositor, the bank suffered significantly right after that.
Yes.
Deposits get eroded.
Precisely. That's what I was pointing out. Yung po yung practice, yung po yung actual na nangyari. Pero hindi po siya nakasuhan at wala pong penalty ang Bangko Sentral sa kanila at conditionally tinanggap yung ebidensya dito sa impeachment court because nga, ito yung kaibahan ng batas sa actual. Ang batas, payagan man kayo magbigay ng impormasyon, actually, it causes jitters sa mga depositors. So I'll not ask you and will not debate on the law, but I will agree with you that the mere fact that, Mr. President, just 30 seconds to finish. But I will agree with you, and that's why to the depositors who are watching, I wanted to send them the message that you don't have a choice kapag ka impeachment proceedings ito. No? May I ask the prosecution counsel, no? Same question, anong interpretation nyo sa 1405? Kailangan orderan pa yung bangko na dalhin dito? Or the mere fact na may pumunta sa inyo na kahit anong official ng bangko at sinabi impeachment case to, ito yung dokumento?
I would like to agree with the position of Your Honor, and precisely as one of the exceptions to the prohibition, an impeachment by the very nature of the proceeding is, in essence, an opportunity to deviate from the prohibition. And on that premise, we agree that as long as it's an impeachment, the witness or the bank official may be compelled and may disclose details pertaining to the
I'll give the
peso.
defense a chance to say their opinion, but one follow-up question there. Then it wouldn't matter kung anonymous, kung ang nagbigay ng tip kilala o hindi. It's more of kung taga-bangko kasi yung nagbigay, and let me now state here, there are many possibilities as the bank officials have been saying. In fact, it could be the client's copy. I mentioned the Udong Mahusay case here where the client, allegedly, the first gentleman, nasa alalay niya yung mga papeles. At tinakbo yung mga papeles, kaya ito ang ibinigay. The bank manager said that they also went through some audits. So not to point fingers here, but there are 1,001 possibilities. But the point is, kung saan man nanggaling, if yung Clarissa Ocampo president is correct, and if the interpretation of 1405 is correct, it doesn't really matter kung sino nagbigay, because this is an impeachment case. But can I ask the defense, do you have a different interpretation? Sa inyo ba kailangan may order pa yung korte or pwedeng ibigay ng bangko?
Well, the mere fact that the case is an impeachment case does not exempt anybody else from from the criminal liability of violating the confidentiality of the deposit, Your Honor, enshrined under Republic Act 1405. Now, you are citing the case of ERA probably, but in that case, Your Honor, the charge was plunder against President ERA. And plunder carries with it, as alleged in the information, there is tapa, bribery, and so on. So, there is a relation between the predicate offense and the charge of and the impeachment complaint, Your Honor. But supposing there is an impeachment complaint filed against an impeachable officer, and what is involved what is involved is a case of estafa, which has nothing to do whatsoever, or concubinage or adultery, why will not the privacy enshrined or confidentiality enshrined under 1405 be availed of? Simply, my point is this, Your Honor. The character of the proceedings is immaterial. It may be impeachment. But if the predicate crime involved has nothing to do with impeachment, the confidentiality is still obtained, Your Honor.
Yes.
And that was made succinctly clear in this topic, in the Arab case, because the charge there is plunder, and there were allegations of bribery and other crimes, Your Honor, in the information. So there is a commission of the offense. Therefore, there is no necessity of a court order, revelation, or dealing with the account of the respondent public officer may be made, Your Honor, without an order of the court.
Sir, your explanation is very, very clear. No?
Thank you. I was just relying on the jurisprudence on the point.
The Senate President, the presiding officer, already ruled several times that 2.2 and 2.3 in Article 2 includes allowing the prosecution to show that if there are bank accounts that exceed what was declared in the SAL-N as declared as cash assets of the... So in this case, although of course you will have your turn to dispute that and say whether or not that's a valid allegation, no? Ang tinatanong ko lang po, halimbawa po, may lumapit sa kanila ngayon na bangko, without a subpoena, no? Without the order of this impeachment court, at sabihin, 1405 exception impeachment, ito po ang account. We want to be patriotic or whatever, no? Whether ang laman ng account zero or whether ang laman ay napakalaki.
That will be a violation of Republic
In your
Act
opinion?
1405. Yes, Your Honor.
I'll stop there,
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor,
President.
definitely yes. As what you will notice, it is not only the legal liability that is paramount in this particular. You will note that when the revelation or the revelation of the account had been made, there is a bank run that causes the closure of PCI Bank. PCI Bank.
Well, Your Honor,
how can I guarantee, for instance, let's say I'm the lawyer involved. I say, sige, labas mo. Hindi ka covered. But the depositor started to withdrawing. Can I answer for the multi-million business that had been lost by the bank simply because of my advice? I should be very, very...
Precisely my point, counsel, no? The Honorable Justice Cuevas. I was saying that iba po yung issue ng bank run at hindi natin pwedeng hindi tignan yon. Pero iba po yung point na legal. Na legal ba nabuksan? But I'll stop there, Mr. Presiding Officer, because I just wanted to hear both